Hello, thank you for joining this section. I'll be walking you through the direct debit mandate flow. So to get started, you want to refer to direct debit mandate in your menu, and you want to hit on add and view all mandates. Once you click on it, you should get to a similar page to what is displaying on your screen. At the top right, you get to have a button that said add a mandate contract. Go ahead and click. Next, please select an options for you. We have internal debits, then we have external debits, which is electronical debits. The internal debit basically allow you to debit internal accounts that were created in system, or you want to debit your customer from one customer to another within your environment specifically. While the e-mandate basically allow you to debit external bank. In this event, you want to debit Access Bank, GT Bank, and the others, right? So on this case, we'll be referring more on the e-mandate. To get started, please select the e-mandate. Next step, please enter the amount in question. So if you're using this e-mandate for loan purpose, please enter the entire amount of loan plus the interest. So in this case, if the loan amount is 100,000 naira, your interest rate is 10%. So you want to do 110,000 naira altogether, right? It's also advisable to exit in the event of failure or in future reference. But I'll just go ahead and make this 150,000 naira. Next, please enter the variable amount that will be attempted in the debit. So what this simply means is whenever the system wants to make the debit, let's say this amount is for 3 months, that simply means the system will be attempting to make a 50,000 naira monthly deduction for the period of 3 months. In the event where 50,000 naira is not sufficient in the customer's account, what should the system do? Should the system proceed or continue making the attempt for 50,000 naira, or you are giving the system an alternative amount to retry? I will go ahead and say, please retry 20,000 naira. In my case, comma, no space. Please go ahead and retry 25,000 naira in this event. Please go ahead and retry 30,000 naira. So this will simply allow the system to be flexible and retry multiple amounts. Of course, you're able to give it a lower case. So in lower case, I mean, you can do 10,000 naira. You can also do 5,000 naira. So the system get to have various of options to make attempt with. That simply means if the system go ahead and check 50,000 naira, which is the actual due amount for the set month or for the set debit. However, the customer have insufficient funds in his source account where the funds should be debited from. The system will go ahead and make it attempt of 20,000 naira, 25,000 naira, 30,000 naira down to 10,000 naira and 5,000 naira. All right. You want to give a description of why you are attempting to schedule this mandate. In my case, it's for loan recovery, right? Next step, please tap on the next tab. You want to enter the customer's name in question, and you want to go ahead and enter this phone number. You also want to go ahead and enter the subscription ID. In the event where it's loan, like I make reference, you want to enter the loan ID, the mandate reference, whichever basically value you love to add. Please go ahead and input that just for reference purpose. And the next step will be the address of the user. In my case, I'll just do number 9, row 213. Very well. Okay, so next step, you want to go ahead and select the payer bank, right? In my case, I want to do Sterling Bank, and I want to input the Sterling account number. So this is the account number where the payment will be deducted from. Okay. So ensure, as seen here, debit source details. So be sure that you enter the correct account number of these customers where the funds or where the direct debit will take effects from. So hence, all attempts of debits will be sent to Sterling Bank for authorizations. Next step, by the tab right, you get to have an options where the funds should be settled in. Right? Do you want the funds after recovery should be settled into your organization wallet, into your customer's wallet? In your case, please go ahead and select the customers. If it's an organizational action is required of that, or you want to have it being transferred. Of course, transfer simply means once the payment is successfully recovered from Sterling Bank, it's automatically being transferred to an alternative bank. But in my case, I want the funds to remain within the organization wallet. So that simply means as being recovered from Sterling Bank, the funds automatically being set to within the Gobeller dashboard. So you're able to explore that, right? I'll go ahead and reinitiate this to enable me have my name displayed on the screen. The next sections will be the debit settings. So, of course, how often do you want this to be debited? I want to go ahead and say it's daily. However, we have other options, but I want to make it daily. And I may not attempt to do on the system to make attempt in a day. However, we do have up to 5 times in a day. So I would just want to go and say, oh, try twice. So what this simply means in the morning, you have 2 attempts, in the afternoon, 2 attempts, and in the evening, 2 attempts. All right. Okay, so how soon do you want the direct debit mandate to take effect? In my case, I would also say immediately. That simply means I will allow the today's date to be as stated. And how often do you want this loan to last? Of course, in the case of this loan, which is for 3 months, but however, I just want to extend it to possibly 5 months or 6 months, right? The reason for me, or basically, I just want to also enter the exact month. So let's use the exact month while we use the other for mandate extension. So I'll just go ahead and do 1, 2, 3. So that simply means I'm entering the exact month where the mandate should be ended, right? Oh, please hold on. I'll go ahead and clear. 1, 2, 3. That should be December. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, apologies. 1, 2, 3. I have to select the date instead of check. Right. So we'll have 3 months from today. Then we have the extension. Do I want to extend the mandate? So in the events where I could not debit the entire amount before December, however, I may also able to extend. So extend simply means if all recovery is not done or not before the December as scheduled, what should the system do? However, if this is not extended, the at December, the mandate automatically expires. That simply means you may be unable to recover your funds. But what I would just want to do, I will extend it down to February in my second tab. So that simply means even if the mandate debit attempt expires, right? However, because of the extension I've put in place, the system will honor it and allow me be able to still make debits outside of the window that was scheduled, right? So once everything is set up and you are good, please click on debit summary. Of course, a summary of what you've arranged and how the debit will be affected will automatically be displayed to you. If you are comfortable with the frequency of the daily debit, please scroll. Once you are comfortable with the total amount that should be debited per month and duration of the debit, the next step will be to go ahead and schedule this loan. Then you go ahead. We have a button at the bottom right where you have Save Mandate Contracts. Go ahead and click on it. Allow a few seconds for the service to be submitted. Once the service is successfully submitted, you get to have an account number displayed to you, and same is expected to be sent to the customers in question if any is tagged. However, if you have specified that this settlement should go to the organization, that simply means you have to notify the customers and share the account information on your screen. The customer is expected to make a payment of 15 naira to the name switch accounts, right? So on the switch account, as the payment of 15 naira is being initiated, all you just need to do is to click on OK, and the system go ahead and make it refreshed, right? It remain on initiate mode and will continue with be until such a payment is being confirmed. However, you can also go ahead and make the manual confirmation. Go ahead and click on the reference. Click on the reference. The next step after clicking on the reference, by the menu right, you have option that say updates mandates status. Please go ahead and click on it. You have an option that said activate. So you want to click on the activate and say yes, I'm very much sure. And what the system go ahead and do, the system will make an attempt or check the status if the payment has been confirmed. If the payment has been confirmed, the system automatically indicates by changing the status of the mandate into active. That simply means, and you also have an options to debit the customer from here. So from your second tabs, you can have a button automatically that allow you to debit the customers daily. That simply means if you do not want to allow the system to make two attempts on the daily basis, you want to go ahead and override the time frame of this debits, right? So you are always allowed to come here and make a manual debit on the customer's account. However, it's limited to the amount that was specified for that particular rule or time frame. And as well on the next tab, you're also able to see the mandate that was created and the details and the source account of where it is. And of course, we're also able to reference back to the summary of what mandate and the exact amount the system is expected to be make debit of all the daily basics. Of course, that will be the end of this series. So do remember that the mandate must be active before you are going to be able to make debit into the customer source account. And do remember, it's mandatory that the customers must make the payment of 15 naira from the source account, which is the payer details. The customer must make a payment of 15 naira from his account where the direct debit mandate is being initiated from, right? Absent of this, the mandate will not be activated, and after 48 hours, this direct debit mandate will be expired. That simply means you'll be required to initiate a newer one. So the customer must be active in their bank's mobile app or USSD service to enable the initiate a bank transfer directly into the account number displayed at the top at the menu right. So that simply means once this payment is being confirmed, you can come here and click on activate mandates. Once payment is confirmed by provider, which is NIBSS, the system will go ahead and change the status, and hereafter you're able to make debit attempts, or the system is also able to make debit attempts on your behalf on daily basis. If you do have additional questions, I'd love to ask. Our team are very much available to respond to all concerns that you may raise during the sections. Absent of that, do have a wonderful day. Thank you.